Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. It is a last live stream that I'll do before I go to Houston this weekend. So I got a lot of race stuff that I want to talk about, but also I got a lot of unboxings because we didn't get to any unboxings last time. We just ran out of time, believe it or not, in an hour-long show last time. But we will get to them today. But first, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio-only version, on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. Hopefully you guys are safe. I know for a lot of people, air quality is not going to be good. Conditions might not be good. It might be cold. It might be smoky. Whatever you're doing out there, hopefully you guys are safe. And for everyone else watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 running podcast to have on in the background while you are wasting time. Or maybe you are making productive use of your time. But either way, this is a good show to have on in the background. Welcome to you guys as well. All right, let's see who we got in the chat here today. Brian said, I didn't think we'd get a live stream today. Welcome, surprise. Just signed up for a half Ironman in May. Wish me luck. Oh, man. What was the impetus for that? I know it didn't come out of nowhere, but, man, half Ironman, that's a big deal. That's a lot of swimming. Good luck for you on that one, Brian. Congratulations for getting signed up. Eliza says, hi, Co-Fam. Still super cold here. Good luck on the half this weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let me say one thing first, and let's talk about the weather first, and then we can talk about what Jacob D has to say. So I think it's going to be cold. It might be too cold this weekend in Houston, believe it or not. The temperatures are going to be in the 30s for most of the race, at least for the half marathoners. And it won't get much over the 40s for the marathoners. So it could be really almost perfect marathon conditions. But for me, it's a little cold. I mean, coming from where we are here in Chicago right now, where it's super cold, I guess that's good. I guess I'd rather have it be about 5-10 degrees colder than I prefer, rather than 5 to 10 degrees hotter than I prefer. But I'm packing light gloves, hand warmers, mainly just for in the pre-race time, and then arm warmers as well, sleeves. I don't know which one of those I'll actually use, but I'm just bringing them all just in case. And I have throwaway layers as well, which I'm always like, do I need throwaway layers? Because you can wait inside for as long as you want at Houston in the the George Bush? Is it the George Brown, the convention center that's there? You can wait inside. But I'm still going to want to do a warm-up and do some strides and stuff. So I'm bringing throwaway layers as well. I'm worried about the cold. The rest of the days, though, Friday and Saturday when I'm going to be in Houston, should be pretty warm. It's going to feel summery to me. I even brought shorts. I might walk around in shorts. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. But I'm concerned about the weather. I mean, if it's a little bit cold, if it's a little bit hot, I could deal with. Last year was a bit windy. I think it's always a bit windy, but last year felt windy. And if we don't get wind, I think that it'll be a good day. Even if we get wind, I think it'll be a good day. There's plenty of people to run with. I'll just duck behind, just like I did last year, and figure it out. All right, Jacob D with the great question. What's everybody betting on for the Houston win? Klecker, Mance, Co, or the field? Klecker, Mance, I mean, Clinton Young's in there too. Or the field. I think it'd be great to see a Klecker win. I think that'd be fantastic to see from a fan of the sport perspective. To have another name in there, kind of like establishing himself. I mean, Joe Klecker's a great runner already. I'm not saying he needs to prove himself by any means. But this is his first half marathon, a debut. If in a debut he ends up winning, as far as like, I don't think he's going to win. But like top American, I think. I mean, maybe he could win. But I think it's gonna take 59 minutes, around 59 minutes to win. And I don't know, it's the talk. That's what he's been saying. I say the field's gonna win, but of the Americans, I think it's gonna be Mance. He's run there before. He just ran there last year. He's run well there before. He knows the course. So I feel like it's going to be Mance, Klecker, Young. I'd love a young Klecker, Mance. That would also be great. I think Klecker, Youngmans also would be fun. If those top three are in the top three for Americans, I think that'd be great. Also, I mean, like, but there's also some other fun guys running in there. I mean, Chicken Boy Morgs is also running. I don't think he thinks he's in the level of fitness, because I just saw one of his recent workout videos where he said he was getting dropped at the end, but he wasn't exactly getting dropped. But Joe Klecker was much further, not much further, but a little bit ahead of him in some of the later reps of a workout. So I mean, a Morgan McDonald American I guess he'd be top Australian. But anyway, it would be great to see him do well. Adam Wood's also going out there to run. Is Michael Madison going out there too? I don't know. But anyway, a lot of interesting half marathon runners. And then on the women's side, Winnie Kaladi's coming back. So it'll be interesting. She says she's in good fitness from what I've seen. So not that I've had any direct conversations with her, but I feel like she's got to be up there on the list as far as the Americans go. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, it's to the point where I'm like, next year I got to I think I want to watch next year. Running 2 years in a row is great. But like, this is just such a fun race to spectate. The course is amenable to it, even for a half marathon. And then you can also watch the marathoners. It's a fun weekend. So I'd love to do something bigger next year, if I go back next year. You know how I've been trying to not go to the same places too many times in a row. But anyway, very excited for this weekend. All right. Oh, Sunny says Mika's also running too. Ooh, I didn't know that she was running as well. Or did I know that? I don't know. My hair's doing funny things. But that'll be interesting to see. I was thinking about like reaching out to them and be like, yeah, you guys want to hang out later? But I don't know if we're close like that. And like, they're training. I'm not going to be wanting to celebrate or do post race in the way like a pro athlete does. I'll probably hang out with Ben Johnson after the race like last year. Conversation paces. I don't think Klecker's going to be between the two. They've been back-to-back too many races in a row. I don't know. There's some space there. There's a potential for space. I know that they're probably going to run next to each other. What'll be interesting to see is if Klecker tries to stand in between those two boys. I think that'd be funny to do. I don't know if Manson Young will get mad if that happened. But yeah, I mean, I was watching the Sidious Mag documentary today. The Sidious Mag video, which they're calling a series, a 2-episode series, which I'm a little bit annoyed about that. Just be like, it's a video. Don't have to get so precious about it. The production quality is really nice though. But like, but he was saying like, I don't know, maybe American record pace. So I mean, it feels like he's fit. So I think he's going to be up there. I don't know. Sonny says, I believe it's a half marathon debut. Hopefully I'll meet up eventually. We have met before. I met both of them. Well, I've interviewed Adam, and then I saw him. I didn't really hang out with him, but I saw him on course at CIM when he was making his last run. But we met on the Puma trip to Jamaica for Champs last year. So, and Conversation Pace says about the Sidious Mag series, air quotes, series. I know. I mean, it's 2 episodes. Two. I mean, I guess I'm calling my Runna series a series, but that's going to be 4 videos. Week 6, 8, 10, and then recap. So it'll be 4 videos. That's a series. I mean, that's kind of short for a series, but like, it's a segment, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm being annoying. All right. Let's see. Conversation Pace saying Fields going to win in a 58-43. Man, that's just so fast. I just remember the last time I saw, like one time I saw Ed Cheserek run, and it looked like he was jogging towards the finish in like mile 12, like mile 12 and a half. He ended up running a 62 or a 63, or is it a 61? I think it was a 61. I think he ran a 61 and came in ninth. And I was like, what the heck? That race is just so fast. CV76 says he's going for a Ryan Hall's American record. Yeah, that's what I thought they were saying on the CS Med podcast, that Klecker is looking at eyeing the record. Sleeve Singer wants to know, when was the last time you wore those arm sleeves in a race, Tokyo? I think so. I don't think I will, just because this will be my third time running Houston now. Once in the marathon in 2020, the half last year in 2024, and then now in 2025. But and then I've been out there, I think in 2023, and like the temperatures on my phone, I don't doubt that they're correct, but I just feel like 40 degrees in Houston winter feels different than 40 degrees in Crystal Lake winter. You know, it's not going to feel the same. And so I don't know that I'll need to wear the arm sleeves. I probably didn't need to wear the arm sleeves in Tokyo. I definitely didn't. Although before the race I was so cold. The idea that I was that I was going to toss them halfway through, but then I just ended up leaving them on. I probably should have gotten rid of them towards the end, but I was so tired at that point. I was just like, whatever's happening. Rydon says it's 59 and sunny right now in Houston. It'll be nice and cold the morning of the race. See, that's what makes me nervous, is that like it's going to be like 60s on Saturday, right? High 60s, I think. And then go from high 60s to mid 30s. I feel like that doesn't happen without a lot of wind, right? But I don't know. I'm concerned. Stevie76 wants to know, do they line up the full and half elite marathoners at different sides of the start line so they can pace properly? They set them off at different times. The half marathon goes off 10 minutes earlier, if I'm remembering it correctly. And then the marathon goes off, elite marathon goes off, and then everyone else goes out. Yeah. Tezen98 says 40 degrees of humidity is a lot different. Conversation pace is going to be a windy morning. That's what I think too. Here's the plus side. If it ends up being really windy, I think I might be able to convince Ben Johnson to pace me for a while. I don't know I think he's running the full, but I think I can convince him to pace me for I think the full and the half run for the first 10K together. Maybe I can get him to pace me for the first 10. But then that would kind of mess up his race, just to run 10K with me. So I don't know. Scott Hilton says they're calling for a win from the north in Houston. He's doing the marathon. Okay. North wind, huh? Sarvanash Garg says, Sarvanch, sorry, I said that wrong. Says, hi, average runner here. I'm running my first half marathon next month. Well, congratulations. Good luck to you. Welcome here. By the way, I don't think I recognize your username or your avatar image here, but welcome. Yvonne Young says, where's the Shakeout run? I put a link in the description. All the information is there. It's by the River Lake thing. But the specific location, you could find it exactly in the description. Martha says, well, which direction does the course go, or is it all over the place? If I recall correctly, it starts out going kind of northwest, and then it goes kind of west-ish for a while, and then southwest, and then cuts back. Because it does kind of like a golf club towards the northwest, and you come back. Am I remembering that right? I don't know. Itai Mary says, do you feel the Runna algorithm adapts to your fitness change along the block along a block the way a good coach does, I'm always afraid these algos are not personal enough. I feel like, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if I ever do a marathon block with these, but I felt like for 13 weeks in the half marathon, I felt like it wasn't sensitive enough. Like in the beginning, I felt like it should have maybe figured out right away that I was struggling. It took maybe another like 10 days longer than I thought it should have to adjust and adapt to me. Although I will say that on Sunday, I had a taper workout. A taper workout. The taper workout was friggin' hard. I don't think it should have been that hard. And maybe it wasn't supposed to be that hard. And I messed up in my mind how I was supposed to run this thing. So I kind of screwed up some of the intervals. But I screwed it up enough that even though I'm 7 days out from a race, it was like, hey, we need to adjust your workouts. So I guess it was trying to maybe adjust it at the last minute, saying to maybe say I should pick a different goal half marathon pace, but I rejected that change. So you don't have to take the change, but you can take it if you wanted to. But it was saying like it was going to adjust my paces from a 5K race pace of 18 or race time of 1850 to a 5K race time of 1911, which I don't think is all that wrong. I think that the Runna app doesn't, I think, well, maybe it just doesn't know me well enough yet. Maybe it needs more time to know me, but I'm more strong aerobically than I am anaerobically. So like for my marathon time, my given marathon time and what I could do like half marathon type pace work, it thinks that I should be able to run much faster like VO2 max work. And so like I feel like anything that's in VO2 max range is a little bit aggressive for me. And then so like there's some things where I'm like, maybe I could be like, hey, just so you know, I'm more of a anaerobic athlete or aerobic athlete than an anaerobic athlete. And I could have that conversation and give that feedback. But otherwise, I feel like, I mean, I've been running for a long time. I'm not saying I'm an expert runner, although I did pick the expert level program. I'm not saying I'm an expert runner, and I'm not a coach. I feel like it got me very fit. We'll see if I'm in PB shape. I think I'm in PB fitness. Whether or not I can actually execute is another question. So we'll see, but I feel like it did a pretty good job. And ultimately, I feel like whenever I think about a training plans, I'm remembered by something that James McCurdy said, is that like, you're not so special that what works for a lot of runners it can't work for you. And I'm not saying that one plan fits all, but like, I'm trying not to overthink training plans these days. Stimulus is stimulus to an extent, I mean, there's race specific stimulus. There is definitely ways you need to tweak it, but if you're not holding on to those paces, it'll do something about it. Steven C 1984 says, bit late in today. Is there a target time for Mr. Co? I'm looking for I'm going to try to run 6:30s. I think if I run 6:30s, that should put me in right under 125. That's the goal. Okay. And Frank says, interestingly, the clinical studies seem to show that tapering isn't relevant to the half marathon. Well, I mean, I guess that's good because Runna gave me a really hard workout on Sunday. The Sunday workout, it's in my Strava if you guys really want to go back and look for it. And it was a 400, a 600, and 800. No, yeah. 4, 6, 8, 1K, and then 1.2 Ks times 2, and then back down 1K, 8, 6, 4. All of it pretty fast. I mean, the 400 meters were like at 5:35 pace, which is speedy for me. And then I misread it, and I thought it was 486K. And so then I cut some of the reps short and messed up the pacing on it and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I got a hard workout in on Sunday, if that means anything. But then yesterday's workout was a taper session. That was 4 by 1K at half marathon pace. That felt great. Yeah. Conversation paces. Are you in Corral A, I assume? I'm pretty sure I am. I remember looking at it before. I think I am. And Johnny Dodger wants to know, how am I going to fuel during the half? I'm going to bring 3 gels with me. I know it's overkill, but they're my security blankets. And I got enough pockets in my Kafuzi Run Club Rabbit half tights that I could easily carry them without it being a concern. 2 caffeinated and 1 non-caffeinated. So yeah. All right. Is it box time? Let's go to the boxes. Let's start with this one. This one just came in today, so I won't even get to the ones that we skipped the other day. I will get to them, but we'll do those later. This is a pair of shoes I bought myself. It's from New Balance. I bought a pair of 880 14s. So, I don't know. How long has this shoe been out? I feel like it's been out for a long time. I don't know if I'll review it. Does anyone know when the first, like 13, when this came out, 14 came out? Because if it's been almost a year, I might just run in it just to test it, and then I won't review it, but I'll know about it so I can test the 15. But if it hasn't been that long, maybe I will review it. But I decided to go with red because I can't remember the last time I had a red daily trainer. I mean, the Forever Run is kind of red. The On Clouds are they're pink. I guess the Deviate Nitro 3 is kind of red. And I guess this is still kind of a red coral, maybe. But I just felt like it'd been a long time since I had a shoe like this color. I mean, the Metaspeeds are red. But yeah, everyone's calling this orange. Stevie76 says, that's red? I don't know. Well, New Balance calls it orange gray. But to me, I thought it was a red shoe, so that's why I got it. I guess it is kind of orange. Now I can't unsee the orange. But there we go. 880 version 14. I just thought I needed to have it, so. It smells pretty nice. They put a lot of packaging in this shoe. They put something in like the heel part and in the forefoot part. So a lot of stuff in here. Feels nice and light. I like that. Doesn't really smell like anything. Just kind of smells like laundry. It's nice. It's one of the nicer smelling shoes. There we go. A D0 Aperture says, if the box is red, how's it compared to the shoe? The box is very red. This is a little bit more orange, light orange, pink, like salmon-y, a little bit salmon-y. Even though what I think of as the color salmon is not the same color as salmon to me. But anyway. All right. And Brian Lang says, the version 13 is on sale right now. Joe's New Balance for $88. Should I pick that up too? Just to have them? Because I only have the 12. I could just run in them just to see what they are. Is it worth it? I don't know. I feel like the 13 got pretty different from the 12. I think the 13 and 14 are probably pretty similar though. That's why I feel like I'm fine with just the 14. Davey Langham says, I may have missed it, but what's a layering strategy for waiting around before the race starts? Well, one thing is you can wait inside for a long time at Houston in the convention hall there. So that's part of it. The other part is that like where Backdrop is and stuff. And then I'm going to have like they're kind of thin pants. I wish I had thicker pants, but I'm picking these because they have zippers at the ankles so that I won't have to take my shoes off. In order to get the pants off. And then I'm going to have a little jacket on top as a throwaway layer. And then I'll have half tights and a singlet to race in. I'll have gloves. I'll have some hand warmers in there just in case. Probably get rid of them before the race starts. The hand warmers, not the gloves. And then I may or may not wear arm sleeves. There we go. Sega Dreamcast says the 880 version 14 came out last March and is currently on sale, meaning that version 15 is probably coming soon. I don't know if I got mine on sale or not. I think I must have. I think I did. I don't know. Coco Brown says, how do you get motivated to get back to running after many months off? I don't really take a lot of many months off periods anymore. But for me, if I did take some months off, I think that I would like to think that I'm missing it. And so that's what would make me want to do it. Or I'm not feeling good. And so I've been missed the, like, how good my body feels generally when I'm in a regular running routine. And so I try to think about, like, the first couple weeks after a period of not running is going to be hard. And that's okay. You're not trying to win any races in those first couple of weeks. You're just trying to rebuild back the habit. And so just take the wins of, like, I made it out today. And maybe I didn't run far. Maybe I walked a lot. That's okay. You're rebuilding back that habit. And so those are the things that I would work on, is just like taking satisfaction in building habits. So, like, if you're not on Strava, I would consider joining Strava, because then you could see a lot of dots for the days you did something. And I like seeing the dots, things like that. Brian Lang says, trying new shoes always motivate me. I'll agree with that too. That's always fun as well. And then GMWBZ says, what's your strategy to keeping it fun? I think signing up for a race is a great way to keep it fun, unless that creates too much anxiety for you. But, like, I feel like having some sort of cycle to keep in mind is a lot more manageable for me in my brain. Because if I'm like, well, I want to run for the next 30 years, that's kind of like, how do you start? How do you write that plan? But if I'm like, all right, this winter I want to run a half marathon fast. And then in the fall, I want to run a marathon. And in between there, I'll do some running, but I'll figure that out when I get to it. And so, like, having different goals dictate different things you need to do to prepare. And so that creates a bunch of variety for you. So right after Houston, for example, I'm going on a running trip in Africa for about a week. And so that I'm going to need to do a lot of different training for that. Not that I'll need to do a ton of different training, but I'd like to get my body prepared for that. And that's going to be very different than running a flat and fast road half marathon. And so I'll be in the trails a lot more. And so, like, just variety, I think, is a great way to keep it fun. I also really like routine, but I know routine can get boring sometimes. E-Time wants to know, what shoes are you running in the half? I think I'm going to go with the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. I did my last session in the Adios Pro 4, and it went really, really well. So I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe I should do that one. But I've already raced in that shoe. I raced Berlin Marathon in the Adios Pro 4, and I've never raced in any Puma shoe before. So I'm gonna race in the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. So Martha says, is the location in Africa on embargo? No, it's not. It's Morocco. I posted about it on Instagram and stuff like that. I think I was able to convince one person to sign up for the trip as well. But, I think once people see the trip, people are like, ooh, that looked awesome. I wish I could have gone. Hopefully that's what people will say. Sega Dreamcast says, the Adios Pro 4 is so good. Did my workout yesterday in the mint, it felt great. Same for me. It felt really good. We had some snow on some of the trails that I was running on, or paths. They were paved. And it was snowy, but, snow is slippery, but, and it wasn't a ton, because they had like tried to plow it, but there's still some snow that's kind of stuck. So it wasn't that bad, but the grip still felt relatively really good. So, Luis wants to know, and the person that signed up is under embargo? I don't remember her name. I forget. She mentioned it to me. But because I had met her at some point. Was it in New York? I think I met her in New York. She's like, oh, I saw that you're doing the trip, and I decided to sign up too. I was like, oh, cool. That's awesome. All right, let's get to another shoe. these are the shoes that I got last time and didn't have time to get to, but I'm glad we have time to get to them today. Next shoe that I'm unboxing is from Under Armour. It's the Under Armour Sonic 7. And so I tried the Infinite Elite last year. They also sent me the Infinite Pro. I still haven't tried that one yet, but and I don't know if I'll get to it. But after TRE, they were like, hey, just wanted to follow up. Let us know which shoes you might be interested in testing. And I was like, well, of course, the race shoe whenever that's ready, but that wasn't among the list of things that they like offered. But the Sonic was. And so I believe, again, I'm not like an Under Armour expert, but I believe that this is the first year that the Sonic goes super critical. And so I thought that was interesting. Maybe it's been super critical in previous years, but the last time I've tried the Sonic, it was not for sure. And so I thought I'd give this a try. It looks kind of like, it's so like incognito. That, you know what this shoe reminds me of? This shoe reminds me of the kind of shoes that like that they have people wear in like Disney movies when they don't want to show logos and stuff. Except there's a big logo on the back, but otherwise it seems like kind of, it's really clean, which I like. Yeah, it's kind of a, like the Charmin test, it's kind of a stiff, supercritical foam. And then there's a bit of a heel cup, and there's it's felt. I also touched it, but it's felt on the outside. This has more of a plastic smell to it. It smells like they just cleaned the hotel room. That's what this smells like. And then there's like a nice, very soft tongue on the top. It's like a regular material halfway through, and then at the way top it gets super soft. I like that. A little bit of a heel flare. Nice. A lot of rubber on the outsole, but this does not look, this is not your dad's Under Armour, I feel like. From the back it kind of is, but not bad, not bad. Brian wants to see the outsole. Here we go. And then Luis wants to know, is this a walking shoe? I don't think so. This is a running shoe. I think this is, the Sonic is supposed to be their daily trainer in the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. This rubber feels very grippy though. I feel like it's going to take a, if they're interested in shedding it at all, even if they were, I think it's going to take a long time. It would take a long time for Under Armour to shed kind of like the, this is what the gym teacher wears kind of shoe vibe. And I don't, this is good. I don't know if this is going to completely get us there, but you know. Absolute Insurgent said it's a Karen's gym shoes to be honest. Sorry, Mike. Itai says it's a mom's shoe. I feel like it's a gym teacher's shoe. Richard Smart says, please weigh it. I will. I'll get the scale out for all the shoes. I think it's lighter than it looks. Oh, and then I got one more, another one from Under Armour. The Infinite Elite 2. I don't think it's been published yet, but when I was in Austin, I did a shoe spotting with Connor at Running Warehouse, and one of the shoes we spotted was this shoe, and the person running in it was Sharon Locati. And when she was running in it, it looked like it got a lot softer, which I felt like last year it was kind of like the Triumph 2021. Where it had that Power Run Plus, but not Power Run PB. And it looked like Boost, but it was like really firm. Bouncy, but firm. This one, oh, it's very, still has that styrofoamy sound to it. But this one looked like it was, they had improved the softness to it. Otherwise, it still kind of looks pretty similar to last year's. It feels like there's a lot less junk in the trunk here, though. I mean, there's still a big booty back here, but feels like they're streamlining it a little bit. So Coco Brown says, hey, you know, my gym teacher was cool, but I'm not saying your gym teacher wasn't cool. And at least at my daughter's school, the gym teachers are the track and cross country coaches. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being a gym teacher, but I'm just saying they all wear Under Armour. Frank wants to know, but what color is this heel? It's red. Red heel. That's what it is. Mark wants to know who had junk in the trunk on their bingo card. I was just thinking about the bingo card yesterday because there's a new carbon plated sandal or some sort that someone ran a marathon in, and I was like, oh, do we have Croc marathon record update? But it's not a Croc, so I was thinking about the bingo card. And Rydon says, did you get your hands on the Mizuno Wave Rebellion 3 yet? Any thoughts? I do not have that shoe yet. Mizuno always sends me the race shoe last. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I always get it after everyone else. And that's okay. I'm not in a hurry. Time to get out the scale. Let me share the screen with the shoe weights. This always takes way more button presses than I think it should. There's got to be a way to speed this up, or I could just be prepared beforehand. That's, I suppose, another way of doing it. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay. All right, we've got New Balance. Oh, I gotta move my New Balance 880 version 14. We've got Under Armour Sonic 7, Under Armour Infinite Elite 2. Okay. Well, first we gotta uncolor them all, and then we'll color these just so they're easier to find later. And these are 0 miles, right shoe, size 9. Okay, all road shoes. By the way, I did just ask for Hoka to send me the new Bondi, and I did ask for a 9.5 because I just feel like with the Bondi, they always make it too tight. And so I'm going to go with the 9.5. So that column does make a difference. Brian says, one day Kafuz is going to use dark mode spreadsheets, I believe. There's a dark mode for spreadsheets? Interesting. And Jim's Longroad says, Stream Deck would speed up scene and camera changes. I know, but I would also have to be prepared. The main thing that made this take a long time was that I was not ready for it. I could have set the stage up and then just switched it really easy. But preparation is the big thing. And Richard Smart says, I'm a gym teacher who wears the H Mach. There we go. Hoka Mach, though, I feel like that's next level gym teacher cool. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a nice choice. All right. Let's see. All right, New Balance first. Let's get to it. These are all the right shoes, right? Right. Hand shoes. This Fresh Foam feels very different. It almost feels like a model of Fresh Foam. I don't know what it is about it. I'll show it to you guys in a second. It just feels like it's very sharply, like all the details are, it's like high def details. It's really weird. Okay, so the New Balance 880-14 came in at a weight of 8.8 ounces and 252 grams. But let me show you what I'm talking about here. So like all these details here, they seem like very very well defined. I mean, it's intended to kind of have a fade, but like right here, it's just like so distinct. I don't know what it is. It's remarkable, you know? Whatever those words are. Calvin says, jump back in, and whoa, Co finally got the new 8. You know, I felt like it was time. I've made so many videos where I've had to say, this is the ride. This is the 880 from New Balance. Mine is a couple of years old, but here it is. I felt like I needed an updated one. You know. All right, Calvin. Okay. Brian Lang says that part of the 880 triggers is trypophobia. I don't know. And Calvin says you need a new Ride 18, so he's not using the 3-year-old shoe in the reviews. I also got a Ride 18. It's not in yet, but I definitely did buy one. I bought a Ride and a Kinvara because I haven't tried either of those in a long time, and I was like, it's time. All right. Okay, interesting. The Hover Sonic 7 comes in at 8.8 ounces, but 250 grams. But there you go. Almost the exact same. But I would say that the 880 feels like it's so much lighter than the Sonic. Oh, it's weird. And also, let me show you the numbers. Sorry. Okay. Ben Young says, speaking of New Balance, I love the analysis of the latest 1080 review. Well, thank you very much. I've been the last two videos, the 1080 video and then the Mizuno video. I feel like I kind of went out on limbs about stuff that I've been thinking about for a really long time, but stuff that's like, I don't know if this is actually what's happening or people even care about thinking about shoes like that. So I just kind of put it out there anyway. And speaking of phobias, Stevie 76 calls, what do you call a phobia of 800-meter repeats? I don't know. That's a good one. I need to know the answer for that. All right. Louis says the Under Armour always feels so heavy. I would agree with that. The Infinite Elite was nice, but my biggest concern was that it was heavy. But what'll be nice is we get to compare it. Last year's and this year's, I think, because I think I have last year's on here. Yeah, let's get 3 measurements. All right, so Under Armour Infinite Elite comes in at 10.4 ounces and 294 grams. All right, time for the part that still always makes me a little bit nervous. Okay, here we go. It didn't ruin anything. So the Under Armour Sonic 7 is the same exact weight as the Mach X2. You know what's interesting? The New Balance 880 version 14 is 252 grams, which all other times my scale read as an 8.9 ounces. But for this time, it read it as 8.8, even though it said 252 grams. Oh, now that, wait a minute. Did I do this? Did I make a mistake here? Okay. Now the New Balance is coming in at, oh, now it's 252 again. I had like 4 measurements of 252 and one of 250. Now they're 252. Now it's 250. I don't know what to do with that. Boggles the mind. But it's always been 8.8 ounces. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it as is. And it'll be a weird thing that happened. But yeah. So same weight as the Nova Blast, grams wise. And the Aurora BL, which I still need to test. And not that much lighter than the Hyperion Max 2. That's interesting. And then where does the Infinite Elite come in? Ooh. Oh, about the same weight as a Ghost Max. In between a Ghost Max and a Triumph, not bad. Where's the other Infinite Pro? Wait, no, where's the other Infinite Elite? The other Infinite Elite was 11.3 ounces. So this one is 9 ounces lighter. So that is a lot lighter. They did tell me that it was going to be lighter. I remember that. So, wow. Sunny says, my partner also has that intermittent repeats phobia. I do too. Ben Young says, I don't know if it fits your niche, but it would definitely help a more newbie walker audience to have those discussions about New Balance and Mizuno. Does it? I'm not sure if it does. Like, I think having a like a video about like shoes I would pick for run walk, or like shoes that I would pick, like, so, because I feel like a lot of times I get grumpy people in my comment. Well, I get a lot of people grumpy in the comments, but a lot of times it'll be like, this shoe so cushioned, so soft, I love it because I'm running in it. But if I had to stand in that same shoe all day, I think my feet would get very tired. Like, if you've ever had to stand in OOFOS for a long time, I don't know if anyone's has. I can't recall why I would have, but I know that I have. And if you stand in something that's really squishy for a long period of time, it can be very fatiguing on different parts of your foot than you're used to having fatigued as a runner. And so, like, the things that I like for standing, being on my feet, let's say I'm working retail, let's say I'm a greeter at a store, let's say I'm a cashier, let's say I'm working in a warehouse, like those kinds of things. Like, I think would be the things that I would prefer for that are going to be very different than the shoes I prefer for running. And I'm not always sure how to kind of like express that, without it being patronizing. That's my big concern. I also still have that concern about like certain shoes are going to be better for my bigger, taller friends, but I don't like a lot of people really want to talk about weight a lot in terms of which shoes you like. And I think that it's important to a degree, but I also note that like Drew Whitcomb and I like a lot of the same shoes. And when Drew Whitcomb and I are standing together, it's like those old Looney Tunes cartoons where there's a little yappy dog and then the big bulldog. Like, that's us, but we like the same shoes, and like Herman and I like a lot of the same shoes too. So it's not just weight, but there are some trends that I can see, which some of them, when I feel like, oh, this is ones that Drew has specifically told me that like guys his size like, or if Herm tells me that, then I'm like, I remember some of those like criteria. I don't know. Sean Devlin says OOFOS are my kitchen shoes. All of them. I have a house OOFOS. My wife also has house OOFOS. Yeah. Lee says I have OOFOS on right now. Yeah. Martha says Crocs for her. She's wearing them right now. See, I almost bought it. I own a pair of Crocs slides. I've never owned a pair of Crocs like the Crocs that you think about Crocs. I almost bought a pair because when we were in New York, my kids just wanted to go shopping the whole time. I have a tween and a teen, so that makes sense. And we went to a Crocs store. Never been to a Crocs store. And my younger daughter, who is a collector, like she almost lost her mind in that space with all the, what are they called, gibbets? I almost bought a pair of Crocs too. I kind of regret that I didn't, but it wasn't about me. Brian says, like, you saying that the Ajumas and Ajashis wearing Alpha Flies to the H Mart shouldn't be? I mean, if that's what they like, cool. You know what I mean? I'm never going to tell people that they're wrong for wearing a shoe. I can say that that's maybe not their highest and best use. But if that Ajashi and Ajama just came from a run or is picking something up, I do a lot of errand running on my way to my run. So like every time I go pick up my PO boxes from the PO box place, I'm in running kit. And so maybe that's what's going on. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Sega Dreamcast said, I did a shift at my running shop in my Rebel 4, and yeah, not the best for standing. Knees were not happy. I just think that like what it's designed for is different. The forces, you know. So. And Savar says, you know, I'm really anxious for my first half. Which do you think would be better for race day? Puma Deviate Nitro 2 or Elite 2? I got both, but only can keep one. Thanks, lovely videos. I would go with the Nitro 2. The Elite 2 is a pretty aggressive shoe. So unless you've run in it and you really like it, how it feels, it has like a race flat feel to me. You know, I felt like that shoe needed to have a lot more cushion underfoot. I don't know what's going on with my hair. It's doing a weird, it keeps... Anyway, so I felt like it needed more cushion underfoot to go marathon distance. Half marathon distance, I think I could do, but it's going to be a rougher ride. So unless you're specifically looking for a low to the ground, like race flat type of feel, I would go with the Nitro 2. Not that the Nitro 2 is necessarily a race shoe, but of those two, for your first half marathon, that's what I would pick. Mark says, I had to get rid of my UFOs. I got thongs for free at work and I tripped up the stairs so many times. I could see that. There's a lot of shoe up in front of those UFOs. All right. I got one more box today. And it just arrived this morning. So I thought I'd open it with you guys. It's actually a little bit of a present, I think. And it came from our friends at Asics. They sent a new hat, which I do enjoy this cap because I feel like it's one of the hats that Asics makes that has a really nice shape. A lot of the other ones, my head is just too big. I don't think I have a jumbo head, but I have an extra large head. But this hat shape fits me well. I don't love blue things, but I can rock this. I could definitely make this one work. And then there's a package here, and it's very nicely wrapped. And then there's a handwritten note from Kodama-san, who is the CEO of Asics US. Happy New Year, and wishing a lot of smiles, fortune, success, and good health on you. Thanks for your partnership. From Kodama. So, wow. And so there's a tag here with a special note, but let's open up the package. It's very, very thoughtfully packaged in here. Okay. It is a Sound Mind Sound Body towel. It says Iorino towel from, it's an Imarabi towel from Japan. Very soft. And then there's more documentation on it in here. It says reliable quality made with genuine craftsmen with heart. And then a lot of stuff in Japanese that I don't know how to read. I'll try to find the translation for it later. Maybe Google can help me out with that. Oh, okay. It says Imabara City, located on Shikoku Island in northern Ehime Prefecture, has thrived as Japan's leader in towel production for over 120 years. They're put through a strict 12-point test in categories such as absorption, durability, and color sustainability. Oh, well, thank you. This is very nice, very thoughtful. Just okay. The Iori is a specialty towel specialty shop where you can find whatever towel you're looking for, from everyday use to luxurious ones. This is nice. Thank you. Very comfortable, very soft. Daniel Estrella says, "Hey, Co, are you watching the David Roche training blog for Western States?" I started watching some of the first episode. I didn't turn it off, but I ran out of time to finish watching it. But I think it'll be really interesting. The production quality on the first one was really nice, so it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it up. I would love to see them keep it up. I think it'd be really interesting to see him put together an entire series. There's a lot of people getting into YouTube right now, and I think that's great. And I just hope it can continue. Martha says, "Didn't Midlife Runner just post an interview with David Roche, or am I mixing him up with someone?" I'm not sure. He's been making the rounds, which I think he definitely should. He's an interesting guy. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does in Western States. I hope he does well. All right. I think that's going to be it. I think that's a good way to end the day. And a nice, very soft, thoughtful gift. And I got a bunch of shoes that now I got to film and get ready to run in. But thanks everybody for tuning in this weekend, Saturday. It's not going to be a big event. There's no like sponsor behind it, so there's no swag, there's no support, there's no water afterwards, there's no bathrooms or bag drop or anything like that. But I was just gonna kind of just join someone else's shakeout just so I could avoid and just be kind of incognito for the whole weekend, since I didn't have like an obligation to put on a sponsor obligation to put on a shakeout event. But I was worried, and I got the sense that there were some people that might have had to run by themselves for their shakeout run otherwise. And so for those people, and for anyone else who wants to join, it'll be something where we're going to meet. The link is in the description. And then we'll run out for 15 minutes at whatever pace you want, the pace that is appropriate for you to shake out. Turn around at 15 minutes, and then all meet back at the same place at the same time. That's the goal. So we'll hang out afterwards, chit chat. We're going to do it at a slightly different place than last year. Hopefully we won't get any hassling from the park district there, which happened last year. So I'll see you guys there. It'll be super low key, but I'd love to see you guys. Love to hang out. We'll get a big group photo, and then I can wish you guys all good luck for your races the next day. All right. Good luck for everyone else. If you're racing this weekend or going for a long run, be safe out there.